Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Secretary McDonough, first of all, let me begin by saying thank you for the amount of time that you've taken to work on the challenges we found
Thanks.
at the Sioux Falls VA facility. I can tell you that there have been improvements there, but your interest in helping the veterans there it was greatly appreciated and noticed, and my team there has made it very clear that they appreciated the opportunity to participate with you in those meetings. I hope you found it interesting and
very much so. Very much so. Yeah.
The challenges that are there, you helped to alleviate some of them. I would like to share with you, and as you know, I've had real concerns about the implementation of care in the community, in part because I really don't believe that the VA by itself has the resources to take care of all of the needs of all of our veterans. And in some cases, the needs of the veterans would be better served closer to home using the physician of their choice, or in some cases simply because the VA doesn't have all the resources necessary on a timely basis to meet that. What I'd like to share with you is, with regard to care in the community, from one of my team members who has been working with veterans since you were there. This is his message, and I think it's self-explanatory, but then we can kind of discuss where we go from here. In the past 6 months, care in the community at the Sioux Falls VA has hired approximately 7 additional employees to assist in the call center. This solved the problem of call wait times and call drops. Now, veterans wait only minutes or seconds to have their calls answered, a huge improvement over the 1 hour plus wait times many had been experiencing. But this seems to be where the process comes to another halt. The call center verifies the veteran's demographics and notes the veteran's preference for care providers. After this has been accomplished, the veteran will be transferred to a scheduler in order to schedule that appointment with an in-network provider of their choice. In many cases, if not the majority of cases, there is not a scheduler available to take that next step, to schedule the appointment. When that happens, the veteran is told that his or her preference for care is listed and that he or she will be contacted by a scheduler when they are available. Currently, it can take up to 2 months for the veteran to receive a call back to schedule that appointment, unless it is an urgent or stat situation. The issue of timely and appropriate care has not been resolved, and the actual scheduling wait times have not improved and are simply not acceptable. The veteran is not receiving the same standard of care as civilians in the community. And based upon that message, I guess what I'm asking is I recognize that you're trying to work through the issues within the VA to get a clear and concise measurement. But the bottom line is care in the community should be available. And right now it appears there's still a huge amount of pressure within the VA itself to keep as many veterans as possible within the VA system, and that even if their preference is to go through the care in the community program, they're really being restricted. And yeah. I'm just curious, are you finding that still to be the case within the VA?
Senator, thanks very much. And I was thrilled to be in Sioux Falls. I really appreciated the time there. Your team was great. And I'm glad to hear there's some progress. What I hear when I listen to what you're reading there is I hear, one, that waiting 2 months to get a call back from a scheduler is unacceptable. One. Two is we submitted in the report last Friday. I said in my opening comments today that these periods during which we spend as much time talking to ourselves about scheduling a veteran in the community as it actually ends up taking to schedule the appointment in the community is not acceptable. And so we're working through what we call our workflows on that. And we will get those right. Third, what I also hear in there is, I could be wrong, your team knows it better than anything, but there's still a shortage of people. The MSAs, we call them, the schedulers. It sounds this is one of the hardest jobs to fill right now in the system. It has to do with wage grade and a lot of other things, but that's part of the issue, which brings me to the fourth thing to respond to your question. I don't think anybody, that maybe, look, the good news is the IG's looking at this too. At the one, you and I have had a back and forth on the referral coordination initiative. They're looking at that, and we'll see what they come back with. And I'm eager to find out what they come back with. Are there individuals who are refusing to move people into the community? Maybe. That's not what I experience. But let me just say this, because the evidence I have on this, I was with Rob McDivitt last week in Des Moines. He told me FY18, he spent in Vision 23, we spent, on your all's behalf, $700 million in care in the community. This year, FY22, which ends in 2 weeks, Vision 23 will spend $1.3 billion.
Mr. Secretary, I think that points out the veterans really do want to use care in the community. And I think your message in your opening statement, your written statement, that the use of VA direct care is growing, but use of community care is growing faster. Third, the growing use of VA care is not uniform across the country is clear. And I think in rural areas where it's closer to home, you may very well find out that the care in the community is perhaps growing faster. And I just simply want to point out, long term,
I think that's fair, and I think that's probably a good thing, yeah.
we should focus on what the veteran wants. And if I could, and I'm over time, if there's any possibility that once a veteran has been cleared, rather than having the VA schedule it, why not give them an authorization, tell them who the providers are that are accepted, and allow that veteran to access their provider directly and save that whole 30 to 60 additional days.
So we have a couple of pilots where we're testing different scheduling options, and we'll be happy to brief you on those.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and
Yep.
thank you, Mr. Chairman.